historic community field for the 100th annual meeting of the Attleboro Blue Bombardiers and your undefeated Hockomock League champion North Attleboro Red Rocketeers.
1921. The blue and white of Attleboro faced the red and white of North Attleboro at nearby Columbia Field. Attleboro and North Attleboro, at one time, one community, have battled on the football field.
Really was the biggest game in town. So when there was a football game, the whole town turned out for it.
You had to give everything you had, something that you were gonna take with you for the rest of your life.
Both of these communities just have tremendous school spirit, tremendous community spirit. When you're in Attleboro, you see a lot of blue pride. When you're in North Attleboro, you see a lot of reference to the Big Red. Doesn't really matter if you're, a football person or not. It permeates throughout all the activities, whether it's, theater, band, cheer.
That's going to be heads and tails, and it's the 100th game. Attleboro has won the toss. They have elected to defer.
And I think that's what's so great about, the Attleboro-North Attleboro rivalry is that both communities know how important it is.
It was really more about the responsibility that you had to your own community. So it was a game that was bigger than yourself, that you were representing the town, the school, and not only from the current year that you were playing in, but the history was important back then too.
It feels good. It was bad that we lost the last time, but we got redemption this year, and it's important because it was a 100th game.
That means everything. Everyone on our team worked so hard for the longest off season ever.
People 100 years ago were playing on this very field, playing for the same trophy that we are, and it's just such a great thing to be a part of this team and a part of this culture, and to go out there, final game ever in my life, and so along with so much other seniors, it's just great to pick up the W and go home with Hilda. It's a great feeling.
Because we love Cape Cod and the Red Sox.
Today's Cape Cod Baseball League game between the visiting Hyannis Harbor Hawks and your Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox.
What's special is it's a wonderful atmosphere. I mean, it's Norman Rockwell. The fields are beautiful.
How are you?
The players mingle with the fans.
What do? Gonna win.
It's awesome. A lot of the MLB players come out of this league. It's a nice way to find out who might go to the major leagues.
Cape Cod baseball is just a part of Cape Cod, and everybody wants to come and bring the kids and enjoy it.
Have your autograph.
Yeah, buddy. It's a very kid-friendly environment, so it's kind of cool. You get all the type of people. You get the older people, and then you get the younger groups as well.
What's fun about it?
We get to see all the players play.
Mike from Michigan State, he taught me how to throw a curveball, and I used it in one of my Babe Ruth games, and I struck a kid out.
I go to virtually every YD game for the last 8 years.
Yeah, how much for a ticket?
For you, it's going to be just a donation. Otherwise, whatever. No, we don't charge. You come for the experience.
It's great entertainment. You get the best players in the nation to come out here. You're in a proximity where you're close to the diamond. And you get to see great baseball. It's a great place. Every player wants to come to the Cape and play.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Good night, everybody.
Coach, set.
Ready, pitch.
Beat baseball is a sport where the players are blind and the umpires aren't.
I've been legally blind since I was 18 months old.
I have retinitis pigmentosa, which is a degenerative condition.
Every player is visually impaired, but they all wear blindfolds because some players are totals, some players are partials, and the blindfold is the equalizer, puts them all in the same field.
Oh, let's go.
Couldn't play baseball anymore until now. This is like a new life for me.
Ready, pitch.
The pitcher stands 21 feet away from the hitter.
Ready, pitch.
They're just trying to put the ball and groove it for the hitter. They're given 4 strikes in 1 take or 1 ball. If they don't put the ball in play in the 4 strikes, it's just like a strikeout in baseball.
Ooh, we just missed it. Good swing.
If they do put the ball in play, it becomes a foot race. If they can get to the base before the defense picks up the ball and shows possession, they score a run. If the defense picks up and shows possession before they get the base, that's an out.
That's it.
3 outs per inning, 6 innings. I want you to hear the grass. There are 6 players on the field. We also have 2 sighted volunteers on the field defensively.
We have a spotter in both left and right field.
They're out there to help make sure players are safe, help get the players set up in the right positions, to make a call.
The only thing we can call is a number once the ball is actually hit from the bat. We can call numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. 1! One thing we'll do is we use tone or inflection. We can call a hard 1 if it's really, really hit.
Players got to take care of it from a hearing perspective to locate, track that ball and pick it up.
It's awesome. I missed the competitiveness.
I can prove and show everybody else what we can do.
You don't have that sense of, oh my gosh, you're blind and you're not good. It's, no, we're all blind and that's not an excuse.
How do we hit?
Wicked hard! Our cell phones contain a lot of information, and researchers at Descartes Labs in New Mexico use the data in here to measure exactly how much we're social distancing, and to see where more people are starting to leave the house again. This graph from Descartes Labs illustrates the movement of people in the 10 biggest counties in Massachusetts. When we got to the middle of March, the amount we traveled fell off a cliff, as more people stayed home and followed social distancing guidelines.
We can see quite clearly that people are responding to a lot of these stay-at-home orders.
Mike Warren is the co-founder of Descartes Labs. At the height of the pandemic, he said a typical person in Massachusetts reduced their travel by 80%.
We kind of saw those major changes happened in mid-March, where people really traveled less. It stayed pretty steady and low for a month or so after that, and has been gradually creeping up.
The graph shows towards the end of April, more people began traveling further from home, with Barnstable County leading the pack. Now watch on this map. The blues and dark blues represent normal travel before the pandemic. Then everything went white as the stay-at-home order went into effect. But now the colors are starting to turn green as more people leave the house.
We're nowhere near what normal would be, but it is certainly larger than it was a few weeks ago.
So people are starting to move again?
Yes.
All of this tracking might make you feel uncomfortable. Dr. Ken Mandel, a researcher at Boston Children's Hospital, says there are a lot of questions about how our geolocation data is being used.
There's a huge lucrative market for these data, and they're everywhere. On the other hand, in the context of the pandemic, there's been an effort to try to address how do we maintain privacy while protecting the public health.
Warren says the data they collect is random, and there's no way Descartes Labs can trace it to an individual or their phone number. Jason Law, Boston 25 News.